Hey there, it's Bryn Brown here. I wanted to just give you a few tips as to what to look for in your human design chart when you're considering how to use it to improve your business or to build a business or to land more clients. I do private human design chart readings for clients where we consider not just life, but their business as well. And sometimes that involves looking at a chart that is run for the business. And oftentimes, if your business is you and you are your business, you are the brand, we will just look at your birth chart. So just know that there are two options there, and we can consider one or both of those. Most service providers that I work with tend to have them as the face and the brand. So oftentimes we're just looking at their birth chart, which helps with both, again, insights into life as well as business. So what I want to give you today is just a few of the planetary gates, that the planets and those gates that we're going to be looking at that are going to help you maybe shed some light into certain areas of your business. This is really high level information. So I'm just going to, give this with an asterisk or just a caveat that this is one slice of the pie, right? One piece of the puzzle. And so usually when I'm running a chart or we're looking at charts, you're going to want to consider everything in the chart, not just these, pieces that we're pulling out. However, I also wanted you to know that there are some places where we can sort of go in and extract some information that could be really useful to you right now. So first and foremost, you're going to look at your type, strategy, and authority. If you're not familiar with those and you're not already making decisions based on your strategy and authority, I encourage you to start there. This is such a big piece of it. It's not everything, but it's almost everything. So think of it as, 80% of your experiment with human design is understanding your type and then following your strategy and authority, in particular for how you make decisions in your life and business. From there, what we look at when I'm with a private client, I'll oftentimes look at a few different things, a few different planets in particular when we're talking about business. Again, we're looking at the chart as a whole, and everyone has all of the charts. So if a certain channel or gate is not defined for someone, it doesn't mean they don't have access to that information or that insight or that feeling or that energy. It's simply that it's not necessarily a life theme for them. It's not something that is present consciously or unconsciously up for mastery or as sort of a superpower. And that's perfect for you. Okay. However you're designed is perfect. And that's really what I love about human design. So let's get into it. So I'm just going to kind of go through these pretty quickly, and then you can sort of Google and research on your own, because everyone's chart is going to be so different. There's no way I could get through all of the gates and what that would mean. So the first things that we look at are sun and earth, the sun and the earth. So if you're looking at your chart, these are going to be the top four, right? There's two on either side. So we're going to have your conscious, those are going to be in black, your unconscious, that's going to be in red. And the top two lines are going to be your sun on top, and then the earth will be the second one down. And the reason that we look at these is the sun is, the placement of the sun is so much of your energy, and the sun and earth combined in particular, this is again the bulk of your energy. So we actually look at those in terms all together, conscious and unconscious, these four, we look at those numbers that are in those boxes in terms of your incarnation cross, which sheds some light on your life purpose, which may or may not have anything to do with your work, by the way. But you can look at your incarnation cross in your chart. That's pulling the energy from your conscious and unconscious sun and earth, and really get a lot of insight as to this major life theme in terms of life purpose. So always start there, because this is so much of the energy. Then what we're looking at are those particular numbers inside those boxes. So you may have a number. So in my chart, the conscious, the black box, the conscious sun on top is going to say 1.5. And so that is gate 1 activated with fifth line energy. For now, I want you to just set aside the point, whatever that number is. Okay, so it'll be a number between 1 and 6. Just set point whatever, 1 through 6, whatever that number is, set that aside for today, especially if you're new to human design, because we're not really going to go that layered with it. I want you to just look at what that gate is. So that's referring to the gate, and it correlates with the actual body graph. So it'll be activated somewhere in your body. So for example, if you have gate 1, like I do, then you're going to see that in the diamond G center, and it's going to be a little number 1, and it's going to be colored in. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. And then what you're going to want to do is just look at the theme for each. And again, Google can be your best friend, and you can simply go into Google and look up human design gate 1 and what does that mean, and begin to understand what theme that is bringing to your sun energy and to your earth. So the sun is sort of how we shine in the world, how we show up, what energy we're projecting out. The earth is going to be what grounds you. Okay, so these are really important energies to feel like, okay, what am I projecting out? What are people receiving from me? How are they seeing me? And perceiving me? And then how do I feel grounded in this world? The next thing that we're going to look at is, after sun and earth, is your moon. And this is likely going to be the 5th box down. Now, if you don't know the symbols for everything, this is where I feel like mybodygraph.com is a really great place to run your chart, because you can click on those boxes on the little symbols, and it'll pop up a box that tells you what planet it is or what astrological point it is, so that you know where you're at or you're in the right place. For now, the moon, you're going to look for the crescent, looks like a moon, and it'll be the 5th one down. So we're looking at the moon. The moon is what drives you. Okay, so I love to know what gates are defined in the moon for a client that I'm working with, especially if they're feeling stuck or unmotivated, because the moon the energy that is defined in your moon is going to help us understand how to tap in to your motivation and what gets that drive going, what gets the juices flowing, what gets you motivated and moving forward. So we want to make sure that there's an element of those energies in your business so that you continue to stay motivated. So we'll look at the moon. So sun, earth, moon. The next thing that I like to look at personally when I'm doing a chart reading for business is Mercury. So Mercury is going to look like a little guy with horns on top. So it got two little horns. It's a few down from the moon. And Mercury is how we communicate. This is how we communicate with people, and how our personality sort of comes out through communication. And so when I'm looking at a chart, I'm looking at Mercury in relation to what kinds of things are we saying in terms of marketing our business? What are we saying in our copy when we're showing up live speaking events or in a webinar or on a sales page? Are we leveraging the energy that is in your Mercury, conscious and unconscious, right? That can be really powerful and helpful for you. One of my favorite gates of all is gate 51. This is the gate of shock. It can be a very challenging gate, but it's so beautiful because it's this energy to really tap into the heart space and learn a powerful lesson and come into more of a heart energy with shocking things that may happen to you, right? So there's these bigger lessons, and it's sort of like the ability to make the most of a challenging situation or a shocking thing that happens to you. In marketing, especially when I see that in Mercury, it's like, oh my gosh, you can say the shocking thing. You can be so blunt. You can just put it out there. And a lot of times I'll find that people, especially women, but not always just women, have been sort of conditioned to step back, to play it safe, maybe to say the things that everybody else is saying. And that energy tells us, with that gate in Mercury, we're looking at it and saying, okay, no, you have to just be you. Now, arguably, you always just have to be you. Okay. That's not the only gate that's going to say that. There are a number of gates that are going to tell you, be you. You have to be you. And that's the beauty of human design, is really understanding who you are so that we can let go of who you're not, maybe who you've been conditioned to be or how you've been showing up, and really step into the full power of your energy. So again, Mercury is a great place to look for business purposes, especially when we're thinking about marketing. Okay. So the last two I'm going to touch on briefly, and they'll be the final ones for today, are Venus and Jupiter. Oftentimes in astrology, you'll hear that Venus is the planet of millionaires and Jupiter is the planet of billionaires. So what we're looking at are two planets that bring you abundance. And Venus in particular has a lot to do with beauty, has a lot to do with money, has a lot to do with luxury, so things that are luxurious. So we can look at Venus and say, okay, if we want to start calling these things in, what gates are defined here and what energy can we tap into to have that materialize a little bit quicker. So I like to look at Venus to see, again, what energy do we need to be tapping into to create funds, and then conversely, complementary to that, we're looking at Jupiter as well. And so Jupiter is more of a big picture blessings for you, right? Not just money, but when you think about what you want and blessings that you would want in your life, oftentimes it's freedom, time freedom. Yes, money, but maybe there's a car you want, or a house you want, or a location you want to live in, or maybe it's the ability to not be in a specific location, to just travel around. Maybe it's a robust retirement at age, I don't know, 35, whatever it is that you want. Again, Jupiter brings these bigger blessings. And so we want to tap into that energy to really feel through that. So for me, for example, my unconscious Jupiter is gate 5. Gate 5 is in the channel of rhythm. And this has to do with patterns and rhythm and having a routine, which is why I schedule in my time to do these videos once a week. I like to be in a routine. And I know that if I want blessings to come my way, which who doesn't, then I really need to step into that energy. And that routine has tremendously helped in my business. So I encourage you to look at these planets to begin to understand. And again, just Googling to start human design gate, whatever, and begin there and start to feel into this and feel into that energy and see how you can leverage certain energies in your communication. See how when you feel into, whatever your gate is in Venus and Jupiter, feel the blessings that come as a result of that, and really watch your business transform from that perspective. If you've never had a chart reading and you want to understand more, I definitely encourage you to do that. I mean, arguably, even if you've had a chart reading, I've had my chart read by a number of different people. I enjoy it because I like to see different styles, because I also practice this. I really encourage you to have a chart reading just to get that whole picture view and to choose someone that really resonates with you. If that happens to be me, I'm honored. There's a link here that you can book a private session with me. They're 75 minutes, they're recorded. They're so much fun. And we're looking again at life and business and really honing in on what's the strategy and how do we sort of put these pieces together so that it feels really fun and seamless. It feels really enjoyable for you. And we're again in alignment with your nature, with your energetic expression, so that things just begin to flow, or stepping into flow. Okay. So I'd love to read your chart. If you're interested in that, feel free to book a session. Email me if you don't see a time that works for you, because I do keep those pretty limited. But usually you can get in within a week or two at this point, at the time of recording. And yeah, if you have any questions, make sure that you comment below. I will get those answered for you. I just love sharing human design with people. And I hope that this has been helpful. Again, final reminders, this is just one slice of it. You have all of the chart, you have all of the energy available to you. Don't let anything discourage you. I know there are some gates that can feel a little challenging or discouraging when you read about them. Know that they're there for a reason, and that they are gifts. They really, truly are. So if you're feeling discouraged, I definitely encourage you to have a chart reading with someone who can help you shed some light, or maybe understand that in a different way. Okay. Sending all my love. I will see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye for now.